In this video, I'm going to be going over the ultimate flooring marketing funnel. This is going to be the entire process that you need, really one of the only processes, if not the only process you'll need to follow in order to scale your flooring business to get new leads, new appointments, book jobs, all that good stuff. So I'm going to break down everything that you'll need and the process you'll need to have in place on where to get leads, how to get leads, and then kind of what, from a high level 30,000 foot view, how to work those leads, and then just kind of the general process you need to follow. So this is what, I've seen work and working with dozens of different flooring companies. This is what has worked best. Now, there are different ways, of course, to, change this. There's different variations you can follow. I'm not going to go over every single lead source, of course, but this kind of gives you just a general overview of, okay, like once a lead comes in, we have the lead. How do we get that lead to a booked job or a sold customer, right? So it's going to be more of a flowchart style here. So let me kind of start at the beginning here. So you have your lead sources. So again, this is not exhaustive, this list. And in other videos, I go over all the different types of lead sources that you can use. So whether the lead source is Google ads, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, shared leads like Thumbtack, Home Advisor, Angie, those kinds of leads. Or it could be more of a organic free lead, like a Google Business Profile lead, like somebody calls from Google Maps on your profile, Yelp, your website. After someone searching on Google, they organically find your website. Or this could be a referral, right? Kind of word of mouth style. So that's the first step. You have to have leads, right? If you don't have leads, you don't have a business. You don't have a flooring company. You can't. That's one of the most important things. So you have to make sure those lead sources are wide, and you have different variants of those. You're not just depending on one lead source. You don't want to be a chair or a stool that has one leg, but you want to make sure you have four legs, right? Kind of in that analogy, that you're not dependent on one thing. All your eggs are not in one basket, but you want to be this omnipresent flooring company that has all sorts of different lead sources that you can pull from, because sometimes, let's say the Google ads aren't working as well, but hey, your Yelp profile is killing it for you. And then maybe the Yelp profile goes down 1 month and the Google ads start to kill it, right? So it all kind of helps to have all these different ones, these different buckets that you can pull from constantly. So you have your lead that comes in. The next step is the lead comes in. After that, first let me go through this. How they're going to come in is usually going to be a call, a message, or a form. That's pretty much the only way that you can get a flooring lead most times, right? As opposed to maybe knocking on a door, right? But we're mainly talking about the digital marketing side, how to get leads online for the most part. So someone's going to call you from a Google ad, from your website, from your Yelp, or your Google Business Profile. It's going to be an inbound call saying, hey, I need an estimate on hardwood flooring or laminate or vinyl or whatever. Or it could be a message. This could be a chat widget on your website, and they can message you from your website. This could be an email. This could be a Facebook message, an Instagram DM, right? If you're running ads on there, just organically from your profile. So that's kind of the second medium. The third medium is typically going to be some sort of form fill. So this could be for a quote, or you could have them straight up just book an appointment on your website. But like if you're running Facebook ads, Google ads, or like typically those shared lead platforms like Thumbtack, Angie, Home Advisor, usually, or on your website, it's going to be a form, right? If they don't call or if they don't message, you'll have some sort of form on the bottom of the page, or like on your Instagram ad or whatever it is. They fill out their contact info, and that's a lead, right? So we have our lead captured right here at this stage. That should be obviously the next process. And then the goal is to get them to book an estimate appointment, right? Or to book or a showroom appointment, or whatever your next step is. If you're a mobile showroom, if you have a showroom, like an actual storefront, or if you just do installation, you go to the home, give an estimate in the home, whatever it is for you. We don't just want leads, right? Like we want to make sure that we're getting booked appointments. That's how you sell people, obviously, right? Very elementary, but it's true. Leads are kind of a dime a dozen. We want to make sure that we're actually getting people on the calendar with their address, day and time. We know what they want, and then we can sell them and collect some cash, right? That's kind of the whole point. So this could either be where somebody calls and they're like, hey, I have this problem. I want hardwood flooring. I want this or that. Can you come out for an estimate? And then you book them for an estimate right then and there. You get their address and then they're booked, right? On the message style, they could message you from a Facebook ad, an Instagram ad, your website, email, whatever. And then you kind of go back and forth and you just book them for an estimate, right? It could be a pretty fast, streamlined process there, not incredibly difficult if someone's inbound coming to you. For a form, if someone's going to fill out a form through a social media ad, through a Google ad on your landing page or your website, a TikTok ad, whatever it is, that is just when the lead is captured, right? Then you have to go into the follow-up process. Like you can have it, and I would suggest you have it, where if somebody fills out a form, you take them to a thank you page immediately where they can book an estimate right then and there. So use some automation to where you don't have to necessarily maybe do all this follow-up, legwork. Of course, it is going to be necessary to some extent, but you can have it to where if somebody fills out a form, again, in whatever way they come to the form, to where you send them to a thank you page, you put your calendar right there, embed it, or you can have a link where they can click on it, go to your calendar page, and book an estimate appointment or a showroom appointment, whatever, right then and there. Highly recommend that you do that. That's going to be incredibly important. But a lot of times, people won't just straight up book an appointment. If it's going to be an online lead, again, through a social media ad, a Google ad, a shared lead, whatever, you have to follow up, right? Like the fortunes in the follow-up. We all know this. So I recommend that you follow up, obviously, multiple times. What you don't want to do is whenever somebody fills out a form, you get their information and then you call them the next day, 24 hours later. It's not going to cut it. It's not going to work. I've got a lot of other videos on this, on why it's important to call, text, email within the first 5 minutes. It's not a big secret. There's, lots of studies where if you don't follow up with an online lead, within 5 minutes, after 5 minutes or so, or 10 minutes, the conversion rate goes down by like 90% or something like that. It's pretty crazy. So recommend that you call, text, and email immediately when a form comes in, and whatever way you're generating that form. So you can just do one of these, that's okay, but again, we're trying to get appointments here, and so you've got to do everything it takes, everything possible to get people to book an appointment. And so I would call them immediately. Make sure you have notifications set up to where when a form comes in, you get notified of that you have their number, you can call them immediately, or your team can, or your call center, whatever you have set up. Have some automation in place. There's lots of softwares out there now that you can text and email people immediately once a form comes in. So just imagine within 5 minutes, if a form comes in through an advertisement or platform, website, they get a call from you immediately, they get a text, and they get an email. You're going to have a really, really high chance of probably booking them for an estimate appointment, if it is like an interested good lead, right? That's fairly quality. As opposed to if you wait even an hour, even 3 hours, right? So, and then that goes on to the next one. There's going to be a lot of times whenever you just follow up one time, one call, one text, one email, that's not going to do it. People need multiple touch points. They need you to continue to track them down, to guide them through the process, to motivate them on why they should book an appointment, why they should choose you, right? So you need to have at least 3 follow-ups in place, three texts, spaced out within an hour or 2 hours or a day, or you could do one text in 3 days in a row. Same with the email, same with the call. I recommend you call people multiple times. It's really, really key. And a little secret is, this is what I call the second text. This will make you a lot of money. If you follow up with someone through text, let's say they respond back to your text, to your automated text, your team following up, whatever it is, once a lead comes in. If they respond back and they say, hey, yeah, I want 1,000 square feet of hardwood or vinyl or whatever, and then you message them back like, okay, great. Yeah, we can do that. Let's book a time. When's a good day and time for you? Then they don't respond back. A lot of people just give up right there. And they're like, well, that's a dead lead. They didn't respond back to my text. No. Text them again. The second text. I have seen this work time and again. It's absolutely insane. Where if you send them a text, they don't respond back for an hour, a day, whatever, and then you just shoot a little quick text again. after you sent the other one without a response. So like, let's say you ask, great, we have that. When's a good day and time for you to come in? Or when's a good day and time for an estimate appointment? They don't respond back. The second text you could just say is, hey, does this week or next week work? You're asking the same question, but in a different way, okay? So I have seen this book so many appointments. It's insane. With all the flooring companies that I've worked with before, I'll go into their account. We have a software where, this does this for them to where it texts and emails their leads automatically. But then the flooring company owner, manager, team, whatever, will follow up. They don't respond back. I'll go in there, I'll see it, and I'll type a response for them, and the lead will then respond back again, and they'll book an appointment. It's awesome. So you got to have your follow-ups in place. A lead comes in, again, call them, text them, email them, like really hunt them down, man. Like nobody held a gun to their head to come in through one of these things. Nobody, like if they're calling you through the business profile and they don't book immediately on a call, man, keep calling them, keep following up with them, put them through your CRM, whatever automations you have set up. Like you got to attack leads. I cannot emphasize this enough. If you're don't be aggressive, right? Don't be mean. Don't be spammy or annoying. But what's the worst they're going to do? What's the worst they're going to say? No, man, I'm good. I don't want that. No, you can stop following up. Or, okay, that's not too bad. Or let's say they're like, man, F off. Like, you keep following up and calling me and texting me. F off. So what? So what if a lead says that? Go on to the next one. Okay? So you've got to be just on these people. Okay? Enough of that. Follow up. We hit that nail pretty hard. They book an estimate appointment, okay? So a lead comes in. They're going to book an appointment. That's how you're going to sell them on your services or your products. Then you give the estimate, right? You give them the proposal. Whatever. If it's products or it's a floor installation service, the estimate is then given. And then hopefully, in an ideal perfect world, they just accept the estimate and they're sold. Perfect. Great. Awesome. That does happen, fairly often from what I see with the different flooring company owners that I work with. And that's great. So I hope you have a good process in place where you send a really nice proposal and they like the price and they sell it. But as we know, that doesn't work. That doesn't happen all the time. So let's say estimates given, the customer's not sold yet. They didn't maybe do it immediately or they're taking a while. So it's the same thing. It's the follow-up to get them from a lead to an appointment. And then it's the same follow-up to get them from an estimate given to estimate accepted to a customer sold, right? The follow-up looks a little bit differently, but it's the same principle, okay? Because a lot of times these people, these homeowners, if you're residential or commercial too, they're getting estimates from multiple people. And so why would they choose you, right? Aside from pricing, of course. Why would they choose you? So you're going to stand out by you following up multiple times through call, through text, through email. Again, sending them your Google reviews, maybe asking them, hey, do you have any questions over their proposal? Those are like very basic follow-ups, but you can get pretty creative with this stuff. Calling them again, like asking, different questions, whatever it is, whatever that looks like for you. No, there's lots of variations you can do on this follow-up, but you please do not just give an estimate and then just expect them to just accept it all the time. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Because that's what I see most people do. They email an estimate and they just expect them to accept it and money's in their bank account. I wish it was that easy. But you got to attack these people to get them to sell, right? And so if you have that same mindset you had up here with this follow-up, you're going to sell a lot of people. I promise you. Because most people aren't doing this. Most flooring companies don't think like this. They might have this stuff in place, but man, if you can just separate yourself by following up and really caring for the people that you give an estimate to, you're going to sell a lot more people. Okay. Lastly, last couple things. So once you sell them, that's fantastic. That's the goal, right? Now we can get more out of them. Okay. So obviously, let's say they're happy. Let's assume that they like the product, they like the service. It was great. We want to hit them with a review request because this is going to make us more money off of them in the back end. Of course, reviews are great. Google's great, Facebook reviews are great, all that stuff, right? Thumbtack reviews, whatever, however you get reviews. Yelp reviews, we can throw that on there as well. Those are awesome, but it is to make you more money. That's why you want to get more reviews. Yes, it does help your brand image. Yes, it helps you build trust with customers that are thinking about working with you. But specifically with Google, the more reviews you have, the higher you're going to rank, and the higher you rank, the more calls you're going to get, the more money you're going to make, and then this process starts over again, right? So make it your life's mission to get like thousands of reviews. I mean it. Get thousands of reviews on your business profile, on your Thumbtack, on your Facebook, on your Yelp, whatever. Man, it's so key. I've been harping on this a lot more with our flooring clients. Okay, last step: follow up to tell about referral program, new offers, etc. So now you've got them sold. They gave you a review. Fantastic. They probably know people, right? They have neighbors. They have friends. So I totally recommend you have some sort of referral program in place that will make it easy for people to talk about you. I'll say it again. To make it easy for people to talk about you with their friends, with their family, to incentivize them to refer you out. Yes, because your product's great. Yes, because your service is great. Yes. But man, if you have a referral program that says, hey, I'll pay you $500 cash if you refer me to your friends and family. That's a lot of money, right? Now, you don't have to do 500. You can do 10%. But having an actual dollar amount will really, really help, I promise. So have a referral program in place. Put them through an email automation that follows up with them every couple months. Like, hey, hope your floor is doing well. You know anybody else? We got this great new referral program. So you can get so creative with this stuff. New offers, right? Like, hey, I know we did your floors last year, but just wanted to see if there was anything else we could help you with. Like, very basic, right? But you'd be amazed how well that stuff works. And you can do other stuff too. So don't just stop right here. Get them on the review and then put them in your email sequence, your email newsletter, whatever you have. I suggest you have one of those of some sort. But that's it. That's a very basic funnel. If you want a good funnel, like just a good way to think about, okay, how do I market my flooring business? How do I get leads? And then what do I do after that, more importantly, to get them to go from lead to appointment to sale? So I hope this was helpful. Let me know if you have questions about this. But if not, I will see you in the next one.